everyone. It's Sunday afternoon, just hanging out in the kitchen with my sea bass here, and so I thought it would be a fantastic opportunity to go through some live fish fitness with you whilst we can't be together in the lab as I'd very much like to be due to this horrible coronavirus situation. I hope you're all well and I hope that you find this session really useful. Okay, so this is literally the last fish or the last man standing in Shrewsbury. My husband kindly got this sea bass for us yesterday from Barkworth's seafood providers in the Shrewsbury market, so that it gives me an opportunity for me to go through some fitness with you live. There are two types of fish that are going to be included in the exam. We'll have our flat fish and we'll have our round fish, and the sea bass is a classic example of a round fish. As you can see, it swims this way up, and it's called a round fish because it's rounded on either side, as opposed to a flat fish that swims and feeds flat on the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so firstly, just to go through some basic fish anatomy with you, we've got the fish eye here, okay, and then we've got a number of fins. On the top here we've got a dorsal fin, which in the sea bass here is really spiny, so that's a classic identifying factor of a sea bass. We've also got a second dorsal fin here at the back. Okay, then we've got our beautiful tail fin. At the front here we've got our pectoral fin. Okay, lower down here we've got our pelvic fin, and at the back here we've got the anal fin. There's one more fin that some fish, in fact only really a trout and the salmon family, have here, which is called an adipose fin. So if you ever come across a fish that's got an extra tiny little fin here, you know that it's going to be a salmon or a trout. Okay, so that's just to take you around the basic anatomy of the fish. I should also mention that we've got the gills here at the front here, okay, which let the oxygenated water through into the fish. Okay, so in relation to fitness, which you need to know for your exam, how do we know whether a fish is fit? Okay, so this is me taking you through fitness in some stages. Nothing to panic about, because Paul and I will be there in the exam and you will be able to talk us through these fitness stages, no problem. So the first thing is we look at our fish. We put our fish in front of us. You can wear gloves for the exam before people start to get squeamish. So the first thing we look at is the eye of the fish. I'll just bring this a bit close to the camera here. This is a beautifully fresh sea bass, and what we can see is a clear glassy eye here, which is an indication of fitness. If the fish is unfit or becoming unfit, what we will get is a cloudy or sunken eye, which is a clear sign that the fish is starting to become unfit. Okay. The second factor that we'll look at are the gills, and so what we'll do is we'll just lift up the gills here. Okay, and I'll just show you, hopefully you can see the gills there, nice and red, which show that the fish is still fresh, red because there's still oxygenated blood within those gills, and if I smell, it just smells slightly fishy. Okay, as soon as these gills start to go brown and smelly, that's a sign, and dry, that's a sign that the fish is becoming unfit. Okay. So the next area that we look at is just the general appearance of the fish. This fish is wet, it's shiny, the scales are in good condition, beautiful silver scales on it when I run my hands across it. So again, that's a sign of fitness. When the fish starts to become dry and lose its sheen, that's another sign that the fish is becoming unfit. Okay. Then the final area to look at really are the fins. If the fins are starting to dry and break and become stuck and clumped together, that's another sign of the fish becoming unfit. And as you can see here, this fish has beautiful fins and is beautifully fit. Okay. So just to kick off with the identification for the one fish that I've got here, what makes this distinctive as a sea bass are the fact that it's got this grey silver lateral line running along the middle here. And when we do our interactive session on Monday, you will see that the lateral line on the fish, this line that goes across, can be different colours in different types of fish, which can be key identifying factors. Okay, what we say is that each fish has got a hook. So it's got a key identifying mark that helps us to identify it. So if somebody were trying to commit food fraud, we will know as environmental health practitioners if they're pulling the wool over our eyes. So in relation to the bass, it has this beautiful silvery lateral line. It's a round fish, but what is key for the sea bass is this spiny dorsal fin, and you have to be actually quite careful. They are seriously spiny on the top here. Okay, we will cover flatfish at a different time because we need to go through left and right-handed flatfish, and to be able to do that I need an actual flatfish in front of me. Okay.